anything that he was challenged to, all for the entertainment of the viewers. He would eat sticks of deodorant, glue, toilet paper, food, but more significantly, alcohol. Now, alcohol or liquor is a very important thing to mention in Shoenice's journey because it's often speculated that it's the leading reason for why he's had so many issues throughout his life and YouTube career.
On your mark, get set. Should I?
As Shoenice continued to blow up on YouTube, it was obvious that he loved his alcohol and had a serious drinking problem. Shoenice opened up about his drinking problem in the 2013 Shoenice Vice documentary, where he basically explained that he's had a drinking problem since he was 15.
I thought it was normal to go to 8th grade in a blackout by lunch. I mean, we just used to take the whole glass of vodka to the bus stop. We'd all pass it around and go to school.
He did have a period where he was sober for 6 years, but began drinking after he divorced from his wife and was no longer able to see his son anymore. He also explained that alcoholism ran in his family, and that his mother started drinking heavily following the divorce with Shoenice's father, and that Shoenice eventually found his mother dead in the living room after she got too drunk.
My mother was a chronic alcoholic. She was a great lady, but when I found her dead at 56 on her living room floor, I knew she was out of her misery because she lived off of vodka.
So it's safe to say that Shoenice was very much predisposed to alcoholism from a very young age. Shoenice also explained in 2013 that he thought that people were jealous of him because he has a job where alcohol companies would send him free alcohol to drink and he gets paid for it.
I just think that there's a lot of people out there that are just jealous of me. You know, I get bottles of liquor sent to me and I get drunk and I get paid for it. It's fun to troll.
However, if we've been taught anything from the past experience and other YouTubers or streamers, only use me blade, a job where you're being paid to drink always ends up becoming a train wreck in the long run. Shoenice continued his videos and drinking stunts throughout 2013, but in around 2014, signs began to show up here and there that Shoenice was beginning to go off the rails a little bit. In August 2014, he made a tweet saying that he needs $1,000 PayPal to get running back on YouTube, which was a little suspicious. Why would he need $1,000 to continue a channel that had no inventory besides a webcam and stuff to eat for videos? But times were changing on YouTube. It was 2014. You needed a little more than a webcam and food to maintain an audience in 2014. Audiences were starting to get a bit more of a feel and taste for quality content and not just zero effort simplicity content on YouTube. A lot of these really basic YouTubers started to take a back seat because it's clear that they weren't putting in near as much effort as other creators. And those other creators that were putting in all the effort started to take the spotlight. Shoenice's content just got repetitive and the views continued to dwindle. The real reason that Shoenice blew up in the first place was because everyone in a school or work setting was like, oh, have you seen this dude Shoenice? He just eats crazy stuff and drinks insane amounts of alcohol, which initially grew his channel like a wildfire in the beginning because it was purely shocking. But eventually, after everyone had seen him a few times, it really was just the same thing every time. And people began to stop watching because they knew exactly what to expect. Unfortunately, due to the deletion of Shoenice's original channel, which we'll talk about later, there's not really much information out there for 2014, 2015 and 2016. If you guys have anything that might contribute to the story, feel free to leave it in the comments. Regardless, one thing that was for certain was that Shoenice's views in 2015 and 2016 were not nearly as much as they were in 2012 and 2013. The views continued to dwindle in 2015 and 2016, which brings us to 2017. Around 2017 is when Shoenice really started to come back in the limelight with multiple cases of scumbaggery. In May 2017, the YouTuber Tubes uploaded a video basically outlining exactly how Shoenice scammed him and was a total piece of abusive garbage to him. Now, I strongly suggest you go and watch this video after because it's very interesting and I don't want to steal too much of Tubes' content for this video, but I think adding a brief outline of the experience is important here.
He scammed me out of money for a bunch of thumbnails that I made for his channel. And the worst part was, not only did he just blatantly say, I'm not going to pay you, he also sent me a bunch of abusive messages for no apparent reason. He also accused me of scamming him, and then later on, he made up a long fake story to try and trick me into making more thumbnails for him.
The TLDR is that Shoenice basically just said that he would pay the editor made the thumbnails, and then Shoenice refused to pay and called him an idiot, etc. It was about 10 days later on May the 12th, 2017 that the YouTuber YTDC Exposed uploaded a video called The Many Scams with Shoenice, where he basically just documented all the times that Shoenice has begged for money or set up scams to try and get money to, as he calls it, end world hunger, which is probably just code word for fuel my drinking problem. In this video, there's a clip where Shoe Nice talks about wanting people to donate to his Patreon so he can buy a new camera and a new mic. But again, this is pretty suspicious. Firstly, he already has a camera and mic which he's filming on, so that's a bit of a red flag. Secondly, we can tell that he's clearly drunk in this clip already by his body language and his slurred words. He's still clearly at a point of having a drinking problem, so you might ask, where is that money really going? Potentially to alcohol. If we go on Shoe Nice's Patreon now, we can see that he actually still has 2 Patreons, possibly people who subscribed a long time ago and forgot to remove themselves from it. On top of these 2 Patreons, he also has a long list of hate comments, a lot of the hate relating to him scamming tubes as we originally discussed. Another minor thing that happened in January 2017 was that Shoe Nice appeared to be defending the idea of drunk driving by mocking a post about someone dying after being hit by a drunk driver. Now Shoe Nice might have just been making a joke about the spelling, but it appears that it's more of a mocking than a correction, but I could be wrong on this one. By 2017, Shoe Nice was clearly scraping the bottom of the barrel for any kind of views or money. And the issue with being at rock bottom is that it compounds. Shoe Nice is just going to drink more to cope with the fact that he's at rock bottom. Shoe Nice's original channel was then deleted permanently in January 2018 when Shoe Nice was at around 600,000 subscribers.
First off, my main channel's gone, guys. It's been a bad character for the last 6-7 years. YouTube never liked me. There were some people working there that always just kept me on.
However, Shoe Nice didn't really seem too fussed by the channel being deleted, because he was only getting around 6,000 views a video and making $200 or $300 a month, which gives you an idea of how dead Shoe Nice's channel was by 2018.
My last channel was 600,000 subscribers. I couldn't get 6,000 people to come watch a video. It started picking up, but the revenue sucks because I slam liquor and I eat tampons. So yeah, I was making probably $300-400 a month in YouTube ad revenue.
Finally, in this video, Shoe Nice admitted to buying subscribers for the first Shoe Nice channel back in the day, which kind of shows everyone that he has the capability of cutting corners and deceiving his audience to grow his channel. Not always the greatest personality trait for a YouTuber.
Just because the channel doesn't have the check mark and like 500,000 subscribers I bought off of Snoop Dogg's Viral anyways, like we all did years ago.
But by 2018, there was another thing that was made very obvious. Shoe Nice had a very inauthentic personality along his whole YouTube journey. Now, what do we mean by inauthentic? It means that what you say doesn't really match up with your actions. It's essentially lying, saying that you'll do something or act a certain way and then doing the exact opposite. Something I've noticed while creating this video that I haven't really seen mentioned in any other Shoe Nice video is that Shoe Nice is clearly a serial liar. He gives so many false statements to either make himself look better or improve his own situation. He's not a genuine human, and being genuine is such an important trait for a big YouTuber to have, because every time you deceive your fans, you're almost guaranteed a loss in subscribers and views. It manifests itself when Shoe Nice is constantly talking about bringing awareness to hunger, because he's clearly showing a facade, saying that he wants to help others when he really just wants people to donate so he can buy more liquor. How does that end world hunger, Shoe Nice? There's another statement where Shoe Nice said that he was kicked out of the house because his wife couldn't handle the fame.
My ex-wife couldn't handle the fame, so she's like, you gotta go, and I moved out to the garage.
But there's also a later clip on the PKA podcast explaining that the reason he was actually kicked out was because of a pill problem.
So I got a question for you. I watched the Vice documentary. Can you hear me? Yeah. And I guess you used to live with either your wife or a serious girlfriend, and she kicked you out because she couldn't handle the fame.
Yeah, I lied about that on
I thought you might have.
Vice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it was actually from my pill addiction. That's right. I was breaking up.
Now this is worrisome because it clearly shows that unremorseful lying isn't beyond his realm of capability. He also stated on the PKA podcast that he had loads of friends and girls when he was in school and that even the teachers were hitting on him.
I had all the jocks, the burnouts, the women. I mean, everybody. The teachers were hitting on me.
While a different friend who knew him in school noted that he was a total loner with no friends or female attention.
And Sean's his best friend from back in 8th grade. Neither of us has ever seen him with a girl. Sean said even back in 8th grade, Shoe Nice couldn't get a girl. Sean said he would be out at the school dance making out with girls, and Chris would be in the bathroom eating toilet paper and trying to show off. And no one really ever liked him, but
Another example of Shoe Nice's inauthentic behaviour is when he went on the H3H3 podcast in 2019. He came on putting this facade of being good old Shoe Nice, a friendly OG YouTuber who will eat anything and just wants to help the kids.
You're way better than Tosh.
Oh,
They gave me.
However, straight after the interview, Shoe Nice posted a clip online saying that Ethan from H3H3 is a loser and that he played him.
I present to you Shoe Nice.
We did it. We drove the H3H3. What a loser. What a scrubneck. Disrespects people like me. I win, Ethan. I win.
Now this reveals another two sides of Shoe Nice's inauthentic persona. Firstly, he's pretending to be the nice guy in the interview to come off as a likable person, but then in the video after the interview, he comes off as a total douchebag who apparently hates Ethan from H3H3. So which one is the true Shoe Nice, the douchebag or the nice guy? I think it's not really all that hard to tell if we look at his other clips. On top of this, he's firstly pretending to be friends with Ethan to try and come off as being on the same side as the H3H3 fans, but then on the same day takes a total different stance on the friendship. It's obvious that Shoe Nice actually likes H3H3 from the way that they talk, and the things that are said in the second video about how he hates H3H3 are said in such a fake voice tone, and you can tell that Shoe Nice doesn't actually hate H3H3. He's just trying to start stupid YouTube beef for internet fame. On top of this, in 2019, clips and allegations began to emerge that Shoe Nice has been grooming underage girls over the years. Nothing has ever been proven, but there's one video that's been put on the internet which sounds very legit. And again, before we discuss this, these are only allegations, I'm just sharing what's being put out by another creator. A guy by the name of Dean, who was good friends with Shoe Nice back in the day, has stories of Shoe Nice fleeing Florida to come to Denver to escape a relationship with a 15-year-old girl named Ellie. I'll just play the clips and let you draw your own conclusions.
Suddenly, out of the blue, one day, upped and fled Florida and moved to Denver. I started hearing and finding out things about him that were really suspect. Come to find out sometime later, the girl at that time was like 18 or 19 years old. At the time when we discovered that Shoe Nice had a thing with her. He didn't want to date the mom, he actually wanted to date her daughter, which at that time, she was 15 years old. He had been filling her head full of crap like, I'm gonna marry you, I want you to have my kids, you know, I'm gonna be rich from YouTube and you can just stay home and do whatever you want and take care of the kids. Then it made sense why he ran from Florida. When I found out all this, me and Sean, we quit hanging out with him, cut him off, and started exposing him.
However, the girl Ellie actually made a video saying that this guy is just trying to take down Shoe Nice and that Shoe Nice did nothing wrong.
Hello, this is Ellie. Shoe Nice's fans, anti-fans, I don't give a f who you are, but Shoe Nice is innocent. Leave the man alone, alright? He's going through enough already, and you people are just harassing him.
So I guess it just comes back to whose side are you going to take? The girl involved or the good friend of Shoe Nice from back in the day? It might be that the girl was still infatuated with Shoe Nice and wants to protect both of their images. Especially if the girl was involved in the scandal at the age of 15. She would have just as much reason to lie if she was underage at the time. Regardless, I don't have any opinion on whether this is true or not. This is just what's being put on the internet. There are multiple videos out there if you wish to do your own research. So let's go back to the start. At the beginning of the video, we asked about how Shoe Nice went from this...
I'm hoping I can stop global hunger in 3 years.
...to this.
Not even reading your comments because you're a bunch of losers.
But the real question is, was he always like this? Was Shoe Nice always this crazy drunk guy who hates the world and pretends to be the nice guy to get views and fans? Well, they say that a drunk mind speaks a sober heart, and I subscribe to the idea that generally if someone has one problem, it usually exposes them to a whole bunch of other problems below the surface. The truth is that Shoe Nice has always been quite troubled. He clearly had a difficult upbringing and was exposed to the disease that is alcoholism. But yes, I do think that Shoe Nice has always been this total piece of garbage that is seen in the editing scam video. Why do I say this? Because there are examples of Shoe Nice being a scumbag at every point in the timeline. 2011, leaving his wife and son to pursue YouTube. 2014, begging for money to keep his channel afloat. 2017, scamming editors. 2019, the drunk stream sitting next to the mall, as well as trying to start fake beef with Ethan from H3H3. 2020, underage grooming. The list goes on. Shoe Nice has just developed an amazing facade to the public of being this gentle veteran who just wants to help people. But I think the truth is that all he wants to do is help himself, and he lets it slip on occasion, often when he's drunk.
Right. It'll catch up to you someday. It'll catch up to me.
And it appears that this is kind of exactly what has happened with Shoe Nice. Unfortunately, his alcohol and bad habits have caught up with him. He's alone, hasn't felt love in years, crashed YouTube channel, terrible health, and on top of this, an awful reputation. Regardless, at least Shoe Nice might have given some inspiration to some kids like he originally intended. And hopefully some of that YouTube money was spent on good causes while the YouTube money was still flowing.
When Shoe Nice drinks bottles of liquor, I feel concerned for his health. I don't want to see the guy end up dying from one of his drinking stunts.
Hey guys, Linemaker here from Linemaker Studios, bringing you...
Lionmaker